Texas Tech Red Raiders. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. Fielded in the end zone, it's Otis. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he'd just taken a knee in the end zone. Looking downfield on first down. Working that left side now. Brought down at the 31 after a pickup of 10 yards on that one.
I love the play call. First play of the game, there's no mystery. We're going to get one of our best players the football right now and let you know about it. Awesome job.
It's 1st and 10 from the 31. Direct snap. Finds some fresh air. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40. In a competitive conference like the SEC, you just can't afford to start 0-1 if you want to chase a championship. Really important to get off to a good start.
No doubt, in the SEC, you've got to set the tone early. It's all about creating momentum out of the gate. Both of these teams had this game circled all offseason, David. They know what's riding on the line here.
There's so much riding on the line. Who gets to Atlanta down the road? Bragging rights, recruiting rights, all this stuff. Once you get in conference play, it means a lot every single week.
Like the job by the defense there in coverage. They took every option away from the quarterback. He was outside of the pocket, nowhere to go with it, so they forced the incompletion throw.
The Red Raider crowd rising to the occasion to help its defense on 3rd down. He'll take it himself. And a big hit at the end, but it didn't stop him from getting the 1st down.
Man, that quarterback can go. Just another guy in another system all across college football. All quarterbacks nowadays, they got so much speed, it's ridiculous.
Man, I'm telling you, that has to be exhausting for the defensive lineman trying to chase down guys like that.
It's silly because even when it's a design play and it's a design run like here, fine, but then it's scramble plays, and then it's passing plays. He's always a runner, just exhausting.
He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39.
And it's so hard to be on the run and make an accurate throw. It's just very tough. Very few people can do it. Again, we see the freaks and we see the highlights all the time, but that's a tough thing to do. He made it look pretty easy.
The Tide with the 1st and 10. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And that one's incomplete. We're taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game. Throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.
So now it's 2nd and long. Back to pass. Got his man. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
Offenses don't like being in these situations. They don't like having little success on 1st and 2nd down because now you know I got to pass the football. I got to air it out. It makes me really predictable. So let's make sure you take care of the football and find those plays you really like.
On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. All by himself. Turning it on. They bring him down, but he's got a 1st and goal from the 10.
This quarterback was licking his chops coming into this game. He told us this week he felt like there were some matchups that he could take advantage of against this defense, and he wasted no time. Opening drive of the game, he finds the matchup he likes, and that was an absolute dime.
Good throwing catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to bow up, try to force the field goal. Nice job on 1st down and goal getting them tackled to the ground.
up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Finds his big tight end. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
And nice job by the defense staying glued to him. Getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat. I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the D.
After a drive this long, a field goal would be a punch in the gut. It's 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it fly. He's going for the goal line. And they've got him down after the short completion, but they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. They'll try to blast their way in. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Alabama!
Hey, man, if we're going to show up here and play this game, we're not kicking field goals early. We didn't come here to just lay up. They drive the field. They get it down 4th and goal. Field goal would have been easy. Head coach decides to go for it. The offense pays off the decision with a touchdown.
Number 18, set to advance on the football.
No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Keeps looking downfield. Got out of trouble and throws. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down.
And he was off target there, but I tell you what, I'll expect to see more of that. They do a really good job in this offense of getting the running back the football in the passing game. Just let him make plays, let him be a difference maker, ball getting to him in space. So I expect we'll see more of that throughout this game.
At the 35, he's got more. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked, good run, and a first down.
When the running back gets going and gets ahead of steam like that, it's so hard to get to the ground. That's why you blitz. That's why you bring pressure. That's why you bring more guys in the box so you can get him before he gets going. Once he got going, you could tell it was hard to get a hand on him, hard to get him to the ground.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. They'll give it to him again. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Man, nowhere to run on that play at all.
About all you can say is do better. But that's the problem. Are they able to do better?
And that's why you keep trying things, right? Keep trying to get on the perimeter, run it up the middle, try different things to see what you do well.
Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. They'll leave it with him. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going. It's squint.
Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
Now, a 4th down. Number 15.
We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. And we've reached the end of one. Before we move on, let's take a look at our stats so far. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game as we open the 2nd quarter. And the Red Raiders will send out the punt unit. They'll boot it away for the first time tonight. Able to get the first one of the day away. They did have to send him out 3 times in that victory last week. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. Skips away from pressure. Now he'll fire back into the middle. Finds a spot in the middle. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
Really nice play getting that first down. And listen, I know when a lot of people think about the Crimson Tide recently, they think about the success they've had at the quarterback position. A big reason why, though, those guys have been playing so well, they're throwing to NFL talent all over the field. And this dude right here, he could be the next first-round pick at the wide receiver position from Bama.
After ripping off a big chunk of yardage, you figure they're going to go right back after him. 1st and 10 from the 31. Looking to throw on 1st down. Zings it complete to the right. He gets across the 20 and finally out of bounds at the 19. They're in the red zone. They're in the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. They'll throw it from the red zone. A little release to the back. He is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose yards on that one.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And in my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He didn't that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
The Crimson Tide just hoping at least to get some of the yardage back here on 2nd down. Wants to go up top. Can't make the connection, and the defense putting on the heat and forcing the incompletion.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Guns up, and so is the noise. The crowd electric trying to help Tech on this 3rd down. He's got him. He is stopped well short of the 1st down marker at the 15, and let's see what they do on 4th. Alabama trying to cash in on this red zone trip. On 4th down, they're taking to the air. Going for 6. Can't hook up on the long throw, and 4th down goes by the boards for this offense.
Great coverage on that 4th down play. Nice job blanking the receiver out wide. The defense, you can tell, they knew they were going for it. They had a game plan. They get the big stop and turn it over to their offense.
Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Under fire. And that defense gets to him, and down he goes at the 9. The Red Raiders racing to the line in the hurry-up.
Man, that is a big negative play for this defense, putting them in reverse, getting the quarterback on the ground, and they better get ready again. Look at this offense. They're right back on the ball, ready to snap it again.
And he had it for a second, but it just dribbled out of his hands.
Well, this offense really is putting themselves behind the 8 ball right now on this drive. Sack 1st down. You've just thrown an incompletion, so 3rd in California. Defense knows you're probably going to throw it. What can you dial up here?
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, back up inside their 20. Might be calling a hot route. On 3rd and long, you'll have to turn it loose deep. Right down the middle. Oh, he can't hang on. Almost had the interception, and this guy makes so many big plays, but couldn't come up with that one. It'll be 4th down. And the Red Raiders will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. No reason to be in a big rush. They have some time here late in the half. on first down off the play fake. The sure hands, it's Glenn. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
I like the mitts, the big fella coming in with the catch. Hey, running a little bit of a route, showing a little wiggle, getting open, throwing the football. That's when he catch it, big fella.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Fires to the wideout. A strike downfield. Brought down at the 20-yard line after ripping off the big play.
Really nice job by the... Understanding I needed to throw this ball hard. Like, I got to fit it in there tight. And a nice job by the wide receiver wearing it, because he really didn't have a choice, because he was going to wear that one regardless.
To the air on first down. Here comes the heat. Rush coming in high, and they got him at the 29. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and they'll talk it over to see if they can build on this lead before halftime.
And this is what the offense knows they cannot do. They can't allow sacks. In their last game, they were sacked 5 times. Obviously lost that football game. And early in this one, they're having issues again, keeping their quarterback standing up straight.
That last sack got them behind the sticks. It's second and long here. Looking to fire. Going for it all. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on second down. They're staring at third.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds, and that's just on to the next down.
Throws to the wideout. Intercepted to stop the threat. Trying to take him back. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And that is elite third down defense. First of all, you get him in third and long, and then you look to the go-to guy. Jesse, I am committing my resources to him because I know he's a freak, and I know you as a quarterback, you're trying to find that dude.
Yeah, and it's hard, third in California, to convert that. Doesn't matter how good your receiver is. And this dude's obviously one of the best in the country. But the defense, they were all over it. They were ready for it, and they get the big pick.
They take over late and they have enough time to put together a drive. Starts a drive trying to go up top. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab. They corral him out of bounds. Mark it down at the 38, and this offense might have something going.
And you just wonder now, is that the play that's finally going to wake this offense up? They've been sluggish throughout the entire first half, but could that be the thing that finally just gives them a little bit of a jolt and leads them to scoring some points here before this half is over?
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looking to throw on first down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Wide receiver going in motion. Wants to fire on second down. Got it in the middle. It's paid.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
The Red Raiders come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to keep the drive alive. Third down play from the gun. Release to the back. With the catch, it's Woods. Hits the afterburners. And you can see the offense just feeling itself. They've got it down to the 21.
I know this isn't the start the offense wanted. They don't have any points so far in this game, but sometimes it just takes one explosive play to turn things around. And after that beautiful completion deep for the offense, that should give them a little confidence, a little momentum. They've now got us to be able to score points on this drive.
That just really nice catch by the big tight end. Throwing those mitts up there, catching the football.
And the Red Raiders have taken it inside the 20. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Timeout, Alabama.
They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long.
42 Spider. Dino.
The snap sets up to throw. Finds his big tight end. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it 1st and goal.
You saw the tight end on a big play there in that last 3rd down. Why not go back to him again here in the red zone? With his size and his athleticism, he is a matchup nightmare down in this area of the field.
And now a chance to pull even as we get late here in the first half. They'll try to get it in with the run. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
They've got it down to the 3. Now it's 2nd and goal.
Here we go.
And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and 3rd down is coming.
And I think QB's rushing, especially in the RPO game. You want to get that ball. Okay, I'm pulling it now. I got to throw a little strike right now and get it on him. And you can tell, throws it to the left and doesn't get it to his wide receiver. It's just maybe a little bit of hurrying too much.
Into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raider. Quick strike through the air for the score.
Nice job putting the drive together. Nice job punctuating the end of the first half. There's still some time left, Palmer, but they can tie this thing up right now.
Yeah, and this is a stat that has so much confidence in their offense. I like staying aggressive right here, going for 2, taking the lead into halftime, and putting a ton of pressure on the opponent.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. UConn is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. These Huskies have picked themselves up before, and they're capable of it again today. They're trailing by 11 to Wisconsin. We'll circle back if anything changes in this exciting college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. He'll get a chance to work on that hurry-up offense here in the final minute of the first half. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Finds his back in the middle.
One of the things you love about this running back is not only can he run between the tackles, but he's also a weapon in this offense catching the football.
They're looking to throw on 2nd and short. And that's going to fall to the ground incomplete. That was a physical matchup there. 3rd down coming.
We know about this running back's versatility. He's made some plays in this game so far, catching the ball. That time, though, he had no shot. Defender bearing down on him. They're able to get the hit and make sure it falls incomplete.
They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Right on the money. All the way out to the 43-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds, and this offense is on the move. He might have expected to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen. Instead, nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so good, Reese, at seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on 3rd and short.
He uncorks one deep. And the deep shot is complete inside the 35-yard line. Alabama comes to the line with 1st and 10. Wants to throw on 1st down. Fires to the wideout. That one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one. The quarterback would love to have that throw back, but at least he'll brag that he overthrew that dude.
my arm strength is elite. You see that? I can overthrow guys that can run like that. Yeah, that's probably not what's coming to mind, but, man, you just want to put it out there. Maybe put a little bit more air underneath it. Not a lot more when you got a guy that fast, but, man, that's probably one he wants back.
We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. And it's 3rd down. They're going to go ahead and try the field goal and try to get points before the break. Right down the boulevard. And with that, they've taken the lead.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. They make the stop on the return, and that is priority 1. You don't want some big return to give up a cheap touchdown on the final play of the half. That's the end of the 2nd quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. Alabama ready to put a boot to it to start the 2nd half. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Texas Tech has it back, and the Red Raider offense on its way to the field. Tight game as we start the 3rd quarter, and we'll see what type of adjustments they made at halftime.
And getting the ball first here, I think, is such a big deal.
There he goes! That one can really put this drive into high gear as they have a 1st down at the 37.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you throw in a running back, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Quarterback may change this route. Looking downfield on 1st down. Rushes on him. He's going for a big play downfield. It's incomplete, and trust me, you will not see that very often from this guy. It's 2nd down.
Man, those are frustrating because you know you're supposed to catch that. You're supposed to secure it. It's going to happen, but it's just frustrating for those receivers. Just tap the chest. My bad, dog.
Creates a little room. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line.
You just sense the frustration starting to build, not only on offense, but I think with this running back as well. He is so talented. He's had some massive games throughout his career. Just haven't been able to get him going early in this game. That was a pretty good run there. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the 2nd half.
And
And you thought maybe in this second half this offense could just find a rhythm, find something to take advantage of this defense, but the defense has really had their number, not putting up a lot of points, and again, an empty possession right there.
On fourth down, looking to pass. Converts on fourth down, and he's still going. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that fourth down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
The short hands, it's Woods. Smashes ahead. And he found all kinds of room and got it down to the 28.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
Wants to go up top on first down. It's complete. Touchdown, Red Raiders. And with that, they've got the lead here in the second half. That touchdown grabs the 25th of his career.
Not surprising either. When you've got this guy's ability at that position, quarterbacks are going to be looking for you. 25 touchdown catches, that's an impressive feat.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that have been so big time. Big time moments, clutch plays, makes those contested catches. He's a guy that can do everything, and that's why he's putting up such great stats.
And the extra point was good to finish things off. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Here he comes from midway in the end zone. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. Pulls it, fired complete. Makes the stop at the 33, but it's a 15-yard gain.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work upfield and get the first down.
Give to the running back. Tackled at the 43 after picking up 10.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some more.
Offense lines up for a 1st and 10 from the 43. Running to the left. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You've got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Quick strike complete. Didn't pick up a lot there. Moved it forward just a few.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
The Red Raider crowd rising to the occasion to help its defense on 3rd down. They'll try to get it through the air. Now he's going to break the pocket. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play. There's no need to panic or anything, but this would be a really opportune time to put something together and try to take control of this game.
And sometimes you just come out as the favorite, and you're a little bit flat, and you expect to win. And sometimes that leads to slow starts, but I think if they can get that passion, that adrenaline, they get a little fired up right here, I think they'll take care of business.
And they just got to make a play. They just got to get something positive to happen here, sort of wake them up and then put another play back-to-back, and all of a sudden they get that momentum going. We know they've got the dudes. They've got the studs on both sides of the ball to win this football game. It just needs to start with one spark.
They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
Alabama comes to the line on 3rd and short. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And he needed 1 yard, and he didn't get it. The defense won the battle up front.
Well, you love to see that from the defense, right? It's like bend, don't break. They've given up a bunch of plays on this drive, but now that they're getting down close to field goal range, you're seeing them start to stiffen up.
Yeah, and plays don't matter anymore. Yards don't matter. All that matter with these defenses nowadays is points and limiting them.
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. They'll go with a direct snap. Looks like Alabama will pick up the 1st down. That's a good spot on the field to go for it. Really, everything to gain and not much to lose.
Yeah, and most coaches discuss or know pregame warm-ups how far their kickers can kick it. They might have a boot to even consider this, but I think you want to stay aggressive regardless and go try to get extra points.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied and the timeout is gone. They've been running it, but now the pass. Sales went into the middle. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
And you didn't have a lot of panic in the first half. Man, you're starting to get now in the second half, and this offense just has really struggled, underperformed. You know you're a better team, but this offense hasn't shown it. This team hasn't shown it. It's the 3rd quarter. They got to get it going now.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Well, nice job there by the defender in coverage, one-on-one with the running back out in the flat. As soon as he caught the ball, he went down. Gain of no yards.
The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, they're after him. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming.
You can sense the frustration building on the field and on the sideline for this team because on paper, they're the better team. From a player standpoint, from a record standpoint, things just not going their way in this game. And someone's going to have to step up and make a play to turn this thing around.
On 4th down, trying to find his man. He'll take a shot. And he makes the grab in the back of the end zone, but the officials are all over it, signaling incomplete. He was out of bounds. A bold decision to go for it on 4th down and one that did not pay off. One final play before the end of the quarter. On the run, it's Woods. And he was able to work his way for just a few, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter. That's the end of the quarter, and Texas Tech is on top. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. When you're dealing with a deficit like this, it's all about somebody stepping up to make a play, and you might as well start here in the 4th quarter. So the final period starts with a 2nd down play. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
And it's been a struggle for the run game for this offense. Man, this is something they hang their hat on. You saw last week, you saw the highlights, and just give it to the running back. Let him do his thing. Haven't been able to get him going. I don't know what's going on, but they got to find a way to get their talented back some space so he can make some plays.
On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long, you know a pass pass is coming. You worked on it all week. Get your feet set at the sticks. Understand that quarterback's got to be rushed. Get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
On fourth down, he'll try to toss it. Dumps it to the back. Trying to pick up the first out of the backfield. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on fourth down?
That's a gutsy call. And I know the analytics world says to go for it more often, but when you're in your own territory and now you turn the football over to the other team, points are so much easier to get. Obviously, I know, Jesse, it didn't take a color commentator to figure that out.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Got 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7. Back to pass. It's Stevens. Got his man downfield. And that's where they'll mark him, but a very productive play, and they'll move the chains.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more.
Touchdown tie! And with that, they move out front here in the fourth.
And at this stage of the game in the fourth quarter, big-time players make big plays in big games. What a great job after he secured the catch in the open field, showing off the speed, taking it to the house, and with it, his team now has the lead.
The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Texas Tech ready to send the offense back onto the field. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. The Red Raiders come to the line in the hurry-up.
And they got to protect their quarterback better up front. They got to give him a little bit more time to make some damage down the field. But look at this. Here they go. No huddle, back on the line, make the defense communicate. Maybe you can catch him sleeping.
He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. What a time that would have been for their first pick of the game.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls against this receiver and his speed. He's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up, but if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
On 3rd and long, you'll need to push it downfield. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. Sprinting away. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
Well, trailing late here in the fourth quarter, what an effort catching the ball in the middle of the field, knowing he's got to try to save as much clock as he can, and he's able to get himself out of bounds and do just that. That was incredible.
Runs through a tackle. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains, and when you can run with that type of efficiency on first down, man, you are doing just that.
And the Red Raiders can really attack on this 2nd and short. They'll move the wide receiver. 2nd down, he'll throw it. Fires left. And he rifled in that pass, but it's incomplete.
All right, that's a good result for the defense. We knew coming into this year they wanted to really improve their pass defense and their secondary and coverage. Nice job there.
If they tried the field goal from here, it would be 53 yards. They'd love to help the kicker out on 3rd down. Looking to throw for it. A shot toward the end zone. And that one's incomplete. They weren't just trying to move the chains. They were trying to move the scoreboard. Instead, it's 4th down.
And you're not going to see many of those. That's a gift for this defense. You don't see this guy miss very often, especially to put 6 on the board. That was a big missed opportunity for this quarterback and this offense.
Down a possession here in the 4th, and they'll need to convert on this 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab, plenty for the 1st down. Inside the 15, out of bounds at the 14-yard line. The offense looking for a score. The Red Raiders are moving quickly down the field. From the gun, the running back has it. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a 1st without scoring. They'll try it over the left side. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it. Clock stops. We have reached the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is looking for a play to close this deal out. Still plenty of time for this offense, but this probably their final drive under 2 minutes to play. The play action fake. And the pressure will get there. The sack. Down he goes in the waiting moments. That could be a costly play. So this is going to be rife with drama and overflowing with pressure on this field goal try. Absolutely perfect. Field goal was good. Game is tied. And how about a little drama, guys? Coming out with it, it's Otis. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. Leaves it with the running back. Breaks into the open. They get him on the ground, but not before he rumbles all the way to the 5.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice. He can outrun those angles and make enormous plays.
They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild. The defense calls the timeout. They're 2nd of the day as they try to get their act together. They'll keep it on the ground to the left, sniffing the goal line. Touchdown, Bama! And inside a minute to go, and they've got the lead.
Well, it's a great job executing by the offense to get that touchdown. I think you kick the extra point right now, make it a 7-point game with only seconds to go.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, it's gone final in a huge top 25 showdown. Here's how it went down. Oregon pulled into town on a mission, and they're hightailing it out of here with a huge win. Veni, Vidi, Vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. And that's precisely what the Ducks did. Going to be interesting to see what the fallout from this one is for one ranked team, while the other figures to get a bounce when the new rankings come out, guys.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Just missed his man, gave him just a little
job by this defense. You go dime package. Why? Because you know the offense is going to throw the football. Great job matching up. More skilled players on more skilled players. More speed on the field to defend the pass.
Got to get everybody lined up quickly. Time winding away, and they've got to push the ball down the field. Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. He wants a big play here late. Brings it in down the left side. And he scoots out of bounds, picks up the first down, gets the clock stopped, and now they're in business in plus territory. The upset's been bubbling all day. Now at a full-fledged boil, guys. See if they can finish it off.
Can the underdog hold on? That's the big question right now. They've done so many positive things in this game, David, to put themselves in position to win, but this is the critical moment where your execution has got to be at its best.
And sometimes you start thinking now, and you start letting that clock tick, and you stop kind of playing carefree. Keep doing what you've done all day long to build the lead, finish this thing out, pull off the big upset.
Sprinting to the line to try to get this one off. Clock's running. Looking to throw on first down. Here's the pressure. Couldn't find anybody to throw to. He'll just toss it away. It'll be second down.
Well, the quarterback off target on that one. And in this 2-minute situation, you've got to be able to call and run passing plays that you feel like you can run in your sleep.
Behind the chains now on second and long. Wants to pass, and he's got to make a play. This time on target. And he gets out of bounds to stop the clock as the offense moves closer, trying to pull it out. He knew exactly what they needed there, made the play, and got out of bounds to stop the clock.
And you got to keep this turbo mode on, right? We got to keep going fast. The clock's running down. Fourth quarter, need a score. Great execution to get the first down. We need a lot more of this on this drive.
To the air on first down. And he's got it. He's got it for a touchdown. And here in the final minute, they're a single point behind.
And in this situation now, if you're on offense, what do? You kick the extra point, tie it, and hope for overtime? Or are you aggressive? Do you decide to go for two right here and see if you can take the lead with just seconds left in the game?
A gutsy call to go for the deuce to try to win the game right here. Defense will use a timeout. 22 seconds remaining in the game.
Alabama.
Why not double the try total and go for two? Snap it to the back. He will not make it to the end zone. The two-point conversion attempt fails, and they are still down by one here deep in the game. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Their work here is virtually done. No need to take any more chances. They'll line up in victory formation. And it looks as if the offense will just take a knee.